Have you ever heard the phrase living beyond your means or living below your means? On today's video, I'm going to explain exactly how does that mean and how you can be able to live below your means and be able to achieve your financial freedom in every sector that you are in. So I'm going to explain two things. We are going to check people who are in the matrix and people who escape the matrix. When we speak about people who are in the matrix, we speak about people who work 9 to 5, who fell under the government or any organization that makes them work for another person. When we speak about people who escape the matrix, we're talking about someone who is working for himself or for self to achieve bigger goals. We're talking about YouTubers, we're talking about forex traders, we're talking about investors, we're talking about business owners, and so on. So on today's video, we're going to firstly check about the people who are in the matrix, on how we have two people under people who are under the matrix. We have people who live beyond the limit and also people who live below the means. And also we are going to check people who escape the matrix. We're also going to check people who live beyond their limit and also people who live below their limit. So make sure that you stay tuned up until the end of the video so that you can know what kind of a person you want to be and also what kind of a person you are and what are the things that you need to improve so that you can achieve your financial freedom and also live your life and never be under the debts, because debts are the one thing that always bring us down. So on today's video, I'm going to clarify everything. Let's jump onto my whiteboard to show you exactly. Alright, we are going to have our own graph. This is what we are going to have, right? So this is our time. Let's say this is a first year, this is second year, third year, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So this year represents the year of hustling, when you started making money online, right? And then this is our income. So our income, we're going to start with 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, and then 50K. This is what we have right over here. So you start right over here. Maybe you are 19 years old. You are 19 years old because you are fresh from the high school. You just done your matric. So firstly, we are going to talk about people who are in the matrix. We're speaking about the 9 to 5 people. So now we're going to check about the matrix, 9 to 5 people, and then we say people who live beyond your limit and also people who live below your limit. So now we're going to talk about people who live beyond. When you speak about people who live beyond, you speak about people who are always broke, who are always into debt. So what I'm going to show you is a basic simple principle when it comes to you reaching your goals or becoming financially free. So this is our expense. As a 9 to 5%, this is your expense, right? This is your expense. And then this line right over here, it's your income. So meaning that your income is more than your expense, but not a lot, a little bit. That's why each and every month you always have to say to your children or whatsoever you don't have money. So meaning that if you get paid 10K per month, you get paid 10K per month at your own work. Your expenses as someone who is working under the government 9 to 5 or whatsoever, your expenses most of the time are going to be, this is a example, not saying exactly you are getting paid 10,000 rand, but it's an example. Your expense most of the time is going to be 8K, meaning that you only left with how much? With 2K. So what are you going to do with a 2K? You don't have a financial freedom, not at all. And also with 2K, you can't start a business. You can't. Whether you like it or not, you will never start a business with a 2K, right? But it is possible, not that exactly you can't, but they say slim possibility of you that you can be able to reach your goals. Now, we're going to speak about people who live below your means, right? Because now we spoke about people who live beyond their means. These people that we are going to speak about as people who are smart, but they don't want to leave the matrix. Why? We don't know. We don't know. So now we're speaking about below your means. These people are smart, but they don't want to leave the matrix. Why? We don't know. What they do, right? They get paid maybe 20K. This is the expense, 20K for almost it. And then when they get paid, their expenses, they become less. This is income, this is expense. This is expense. So right over here, it's a room for freedom. Financial, it's a room for financial freedom. So these people are getting paid 10,000 rand, right? I mean to say they get paid 20,000 rand, right? And then their expenses are more likely like the same. That person get paid at least 8,000, right? So 20K minus 8K is how much? They, after paying everything, the expenses, maybe it's a car, maybe it's a house, it's a whatever, they're going to left with 12K. But what are they going to do with 12K? They are not going to do anything with it. They're just going to spend it uselessly. When we say uselessly, it's going to about drinking alcohol, buying expensive food. We're not saying you should not buy expensive food, but then not always unnecessary, so you must not. So these people are not thinking about business at all, and they have a potential for them to at least come up with something so that they can reach their goals of becoming financially freedom, because they have freedom but they are not aware, right? So now we are going to speak about people who escape the matrix. These people, we have people who are smart, who are able to reach financial freedom, and we have people who escape it, but still they can't reach a state whereby they can say that they are financial freedom. So escape matrix, these people. And then these people are people who live beyond limit, right? They live beyond. So in business, we have a linear, I forgot to tell you about this. We have a linear line when it comes to an income. If your income goes like this, it goes like this when we are under the matrix. There's no way that it is going to have ups and downs. So when we speak about people who are who actually escape the matrix, we speak about a graph that can go like this, that can go like this. It's not a linear graph. It always have ups and downs, because if you're a trader, you are not sure how much are you going to make. In order for you to be able to sustain your life, you need to live below your limit. So these people are beyond. So the reason why they can't find financial freedom, but they are in a sector whereby they have potential of becoming financial free, is because this is their income, right? Their income goes like this. Their income goes like this. This is their income. It's not specific. First year they made 10,000. Second year they made 20. Third year they made 30. Fourth year they made exactly 30. Fifth year they made 20. And then the sixth year they made 50K. So it's not okay. So what these people are going to do, are going to say, oh, first year I made 10K. My expenses are going to be 8K. They only left with 2K. I want you to remember what I'm saying right over here, because it's a very basic thing that you can do. And then thereafter, what they do, they say, second year, I'm making 20. Let me buy another expensive car to go right over here. And when it goes down, they become into debt, because now their expenses are below their income. Same goes to, and then they say, third year, they still sticking right over here. Third year, they are making a little, they making 30. Third year, they make 30,000, right? When they make 30,000, now that the previous, they've seen that we have covered, they're going to say, okay, let's go up the next month because we made 30,000, and see what we can do. We're going to buy another Bugatti. When they bought Bugatti, on the fourth year, they are making how much? They are making 40K, right? They are making 40K or the fourth month. So they are saying, okay, we bought Bugatti. Let's see next month what's happened. When they go to the next month, which is the fifth month, look what happens. The business doesn't go well. Now they are into debt, right? They can't get themselves out of debt. They are drowning. It's because of they live beyond their limit. They are chasing the money. If you are a businessman, a forex trader, a YouTuber, you don't know how much you are going to make each and every month. So you need to make sure that you are always below, as much as in overtime or when times goes on, long term, the business is growing, but it will always have the loopholes. These are the loopholes whereby the market or the business or whatever the company that you are running are going to come to the point whereby they are, it's a month whereby they did not generate much for that month, right? So now we're going to speak about people who are very wise, people who live below the means, people who have financial freedom, people who are smart, right? So these people, they understand the business. This is below what's happening. This is below. So they understand that the business doesn't always generate money in a proper way. Sometimes you're going to find out that the business is not working well. So they understand how the business works. So this is the income of the business. The income of the business goes like this, goes like this, goes like this, goes like this. This is the income of the business. So these people, they understand that first year, how much are we making? We're making approximately 15,000, right? But my expense is going to stick around on 10K. We made 15, right? when we made 15 on the second, this is what is the expense. Their expense on first year goes to 10K because they made 15,000. Second year, their expense is on 15,000, so they stick to 10K. Then third year, their expense to 11,000, they stick to 10K. On the fourth year, they see that, wow, we made 40,000, we made more than we used to. They are not going to say, okay, let me buy Bugatti, I have money now. No, that's not what they are going to do. They stick to what they are always living with, right? They stick to the 10K. They stick to the 10K. Even if on the fifth, they went low, but they are not in debt. They are about 15,000, but they have generated enough money right over there so that they can accumulate. This is freedom. This is freedom. So when their market comes right over here, they still say this, they are still have a room to risk. On the sixth year, they make about 30,000, but they still stand right over here because they understand that sometimes the business is not going to generate much money. So let me show you how others are doing it. Others, they understand that this is how the market, the business works. So they stay right over here. This is freedom right over here. It what gives them the opportunity to risk more and accumulate more money because the money is top. The money is at the top right over here. It's playing at the top, playing at the top, but their expenses are always below right over here. So right over here, it's a financial freedom. They are free to risk the money that they are making to make a lot of money. So if you understand this, please make sure that you subscribe. Please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can learn